Hello everybody. What I want to go over in this video is how we can unroll surfaces from solids. In past videos we've just unrolled surfaces from unrolled surfaces to flatten them from just straight surfaces, which is typically this sort of object where we just have a surface and we would just type in unroll surface and hit enter, and we've got that, which is great. So I just want to go over kind of a process for solids like this, for example. And what we can do initially is we can just explode them. So I'm going to explode, explode. And that way we have a lot of these different faces. Now, one thing we want to consider is what faces do we need here? Because our goal is that this is going to be a sheet of cardboard that's bending around here. So we need the exterior or the outer perimeter going all the way around here. That's what we are trying to get. So what we can do is we can just join those outer surfaces into one. And I don't really need this other information for the next steps of unrolling things and flattening them for CNC cutting. We don't need those because we just need the flat geometry for right now. We're not doing any three-dimensional cutting, so that's what I'm going to do now. Of course, when we designed our chair, we needed all of that information. I'm just going to go ahead and delete this. This face is just ready to go. That's all I need. And I'm going to delete this. And I can go through that same process of selecting these outer surfaces. And I'm selecting the outer ones because they're the longest, right? If I selected the inner ones, it would be shorter by a small amount, but it could be detrimental when I actually go to cut it out and put it all together. So there we go. I'm going to delete all of these. And we've got the rest of our surfaces. And in a previous video, I discussed what exactly, how we make all these pieces and things like that. But for right now, we're going to now unroll everything. I'm going to move this one out of the way. And why don't we just start by unrolling this seat right here. And I'm just going to select that surface that I joined together, and I'm going to type in unroll surface. And in my options, I don't want to explode it. I'm not going to do labels, and I'm not really going to keep properties. I'm just going to unroll it so I can just get a surface. And I'm going to hit done, and I can see there is my surface that has been unrolled. I'm going to just move these out of the way. A lot of information on here. Now I'm going to go into my top view and take a look at this, because what I have is I've got this little end piece here. I've got what is actually a bend, the larger seat, another bend, and then a couple of pieces that will wrap around the front of the seat. Now that's great. One thing I want to do is just get the curves. Now these are all separate surfaces. So what I will have to do is select this object. I'm going to come up to curve, curve from objects, duplicate face border. And I'll select all of them, and then there we go. And while all those curves are selected, I'm just going to move them out of the way and make sure that they're all together. Now from here, interesting. Did I forget? Did I miss one? Oh, no, I didn't miss one. It's just my terrible graphics card hiding this section. Anyway, what are we going to do? How are we going to cut this out? Are we going to cut out all these individual pieces? Well, we don't really want to, because we want it to be all one solid piece that's just going to fold. One thing that can help us, though, is actually determining the lines where the folds are, right? So this is like a full fold right here. Oh, come on, computer. This is a full fold. And on the CNC machine, we can actually like cut a little line into that so it folds nicely to just help us indicate where that's happening. And what we're going to do is we're just going to draw a simple line there. And what I'm going to do to help myself out is I know that this piece is going to be one of the thinner pieces. So I'm going to just change that layer. Move objects to this layer. And then what I'm going to do is draw a line from the midpoint. So the center, a line that's going to go through the center of this rectangle right here. Boom. And then I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to copy it here, here, and here. And that should do it. Okay. And then I'm going to change these just so I have another visual. I'm going to change the color of these. Come on, where are you? What is going on here? Why won't you? Okay, that's correct. And I'm just going to change the display color. For some reason I like orange. No, I don't. I'm going to change it to ice. Cool. So now what I need to do next is I actually need to get an exterior curve because I don't need all of these little rectangles. So I'm just going to select these. I'm going to remove my bend lines and I'm going to do a curve boolean. And the easy thing to do is just select the exterior. And I'm going to select the interior pieces too. So that's what I should get. And I'm going to just delete the used objects and hit done. Oh, interesting. I didn't use these. Oh, there's double curve. Ah. Well, next time I'll just say delete all, which would be more efficient. Anywho, and then because these are all kind of separate pieces, I'm going to make sure to group them. All right, so then that is one of my pieces ready to roll. So I, go through this process of kind of extrapolating those surfaces, flattening them, and then moving them, getting curves from them, and then also some engraving curves or bend curves, so to say. Now this, I'm just going to kind of move out of the way. And for this piece, when I unroll it, I'm actually not going to get those rectangles where there was a bend, and that's because the way I offset that original curve. But that's okay. We'll try it this way. And the curve that I would want from this for the bends are just the edges of the interior edges of each rectangle. Okay, face border, enter, and we can see that's what we have. Here's another quick method. Instead of doing curve boolean, I can explode everything. And this method is only for lines that, or bends that are sharp. Unlike, where to go? Unlike this one that has a more curved bend and that geometry is reflected in this little rectangle. This has a sharp bend, which is doesn't really have a geometry because it's just an edge. Anyway, what I can do is explode all of these. I can select duplicates, delete the duplicates, and then select only my exterior lines to join them. And then these interior lines become my bend lines. Nice. And then I'm going to make sure to group them, just so I've got that information. That is the first foot. All right, cool. So I'm going to go through all of these other pieces and do the same process And in the next video, after I unroll these and get all my geometry, I'm going to go over a process of nesting all of these together. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helps kind of, visually see how the process of getting that geometry. And I will see you in the next video.